exclusive leader. You guys, if you're not muted, can you mute yourself if you don't mind? So they're well aware. So for all of my blue status presenters, I met with Eric yesterday about this system called Teamzy, which as your businesses are growing and as your customer base is getting larger and as we're coming into our busy season, I've really been wanting to look into this. And as you know how crazy we are, I haven't had the time to sit for an hour. So it's been nice I had chatted with Eric yesterday, went briefly through everything. And you guys all know me. I am not technologically savvy. I'm like, we can do Zoom and we can do Facebook Live. So I wanted to see if it was something that I thought I was actually going to use before I introduced it to the team. And Sean and I Jen sat through an hour with Eric yesterday going through everything. And I'm like, okay, this is legit exactly what I need. And I think you guys need as well. And even if your business is, starting off on a smaller scale, if you start this amazing habit now with this Teamzy, then I think it's going to benefit you in the long run. And what's really amazing is if your team starts using it too, then you can also hold your team accountable for the work that they're doing as well. Another thing that's great is this is not offered by Younique. And, we're all always talking about we need more in the back office. We need more ways to track our customers. And Excel spreadsheets only go so far as your business starts to grow. So this is Younique specific. And that's what I really love. It's our lingo. It's very extremely user-friendly. So Eric Johnson is the CEO. He's the one who actually created this entire CRM. If you don't know what a CRM is, that's okay, because I didn't know what it was until yesterday either. It's a customer relationship management system. And he created this whole thing because he is with Beachbody and needed something to kind of tame his growing business. So he'll give you a little background about himself. He's going to walk us through and show us exactly how to use it. It is a monthly fee if you decide to do this, but the first month is a 30-day trial for free. So you can jump in and start using it. If you find that you're not using it, you don't have to continue with it. I know it's something that I'll definitely be using. So I'll pass it over to you, Eric. And girls, if you have any questions, just post in the chat box, but Eric will open it up for a Q&A at the end. But if you just post in the chat box while it's on your mind so that you don't forget, okay? Thanks, Eric. Eric, you're still muted.
I muted everybody, including myself. Okay, so everybody's muted. At least I'm not now. If you guys feel the spirit move and you want to say something, though, it's okay if you unmute and ask, but I will do a Q&A at the end. Okay, so thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super excited to be with you today. I am Eric Johnson. I'm the creator of Teamzy. And Teamzy is a system that helps you really stay in contact with people in your business. And I'm going to walk you all the way through it as we go. But first, I'm going to take you through a little bit of a training on relationship marketing, which is the philosophy behind it. And so Kelly and I talked yesterday. We didn't get a chance to go deep into this stuff, but we just talked about how, our industry teaches like the whole go for no type of approach. And we're the opposite. We're the relationship approach, how to build relationships. But even building relationships, you need a system behind it, if it makes sense. So I'm going to share a little bit of that philosophy that this is based on, because it's more than just an app. It's actually a way of doing business. Then I'll take you through the app. I'm going to show you guys how you can consistently connect with 20 people a day in 30 minutes or less, right? Starting 10 conversations, inviting 3 new people to the business every single day consistently. You'll be able to do everything in less than an hour. Okay? I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and it's going to be cool. And you can start doing it that way tomorrow. And so I'm going to take you through the whole process, how to start a conversation, how to take that conversation to an invite about the business, how to follow up like a pro on an invite, all the way through to bringing somebody through to your team. Okay? And then we'll do a Q&A at the end. All right, so let me just share my screen here. Hold on a second, Zoom. Try that again, because it didn't bring it up. Okay, so you guys should be seeing my purple presentation right now. Like the color themes? All right, so first I want to talk to you about how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. This is one of our hashtags because Teamzy is built around the concept of the power hour. I honestly believe, and we now have, I think as of this today, 46,000 network marketers using Teamzy. And so it's proven now. If you do an hour a day and you're highly leveraged, you can create tremendous momentum. A little bit about my backstory. I've been a professional business consultant for 15 years, basically my entire grown-up life, helping people build their business, teaching people how to build relationships systematically. I worked a lot with real estate agents and mortgage people, and that was kind of my profession. I got into network marketing kind of as a side thing, like probably a lot of you guys started too, just because I found some products that I fell in love with and had great success with. And as a business coach, I knew if I wanted to be successful, I had to leverage that hour a day that I had to spare. And I had to be super efficient and not just busy. So I knew I needed a tool. There just wasn't anything for us. There just wasn't anything out there. And some of the products that were out there, you know, for those of you like Kelly who didn't know what a CRM is, it's because it was a terrible, awful thing. It's the kind of product people hate because they're so complicated and cumbersome and annoying. So I wanted to create one that people wouldn't even know was a CRM until somebody told them. They just knew that it was helping them build their business, if that makes sense. So that's why we built the Teamzy. So what is relationship marketing? When I say relationship marketing, what does that mean? I'm just going to give you guys my definition, which is this. Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. I'm telling you this because when people hear relationship marketing, they think it's like some sort of just hug festival kumbaya thing, that it's not a real system to build your business, and it is. I also want you guys to have a mindset shift right now. I know I'm talking to elite leaders, so you guys probably already get this. So forgive me as I'm giving you guys principles that you feel you can just relate to them. But we can be really busy in our business without being effective, true? And you need to understand that your business is not marketing makeup and skincare and all the great products you have. Your business is lead generation. You are in the lead generation business. And if you don't do lead generation activities in a day, no matter how busy you were, no matter how many people you signed up, you didn't build your business that day. Okay, and it's just a mindset shift. So, and you just need to understand this is the system. Okay, here's another important principle. If I give it to you in yellow, I really want you to remember it. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So if you guys go to business school, they'll teach you that the duty of a business is profit. It's to make profit. I'm telling you guys, your duty is developing relationships and deepening them. So we're in the lead generation business. We generate leads so that we can develop relationships with those leads. The relationship is primary to the sale. And by doing that, by putting the relationship primary to the sale, we turn our relationships into advocates over time. By investing our time and providing outstanding service, they become advocates. You guys know what that feels like to be an advocate, right? I mean, that's just, you're so excited about something, you can't help talk about it. We're all advocates for tons of things that we love. And we want to create an army of advocates. And the traditional approach in this business is, give me your list, crank through the list, find the 2% of people who are interested and throw the rest away. In this system, we take all 100% of that list and we spend time, over time, we turn them all into advocates. They're either going to join our business, they're going to be a customer, or they're going to be telling other people how awesome our business is. Those are the only 3 categories people can fall into if you're working this system. Okay, here's another important principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. And I know I'm going fast. We are recording, guys. It's going to be like taking a sip of water from a fire hose tonight because I'm going to cover a lot of ground. But stick with me. I'm going to give you some good meat. It depends on trust. Another way to say this is this. If you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Okay? Have you guys come across people in this business that are not trustworthy, that do shady things? Absolutely. In fact, so many people like that have been in this business, maybe not even in Younique, but in other networks, that they've given the industry a bad name, right? Totally. And the way our industry trains people is to do shady things. I'm telling you guys, relationship marketing depends on trust. But the cool thing is trust makes the work fun. It makes it fun. If somebody trusts you just a tiny bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You can just get right to helping them. You can skip all that stuff, right? It also takes away the icky feeling. You guys know the technical term icky salesperson? How many of you guys are paranoid about being labeled the icky salesperson? And I know this is definitely a fear of your downline team, right? And so if there's some trust, there's no icky feeling. Also, you get to go for yes. So instead of going for no's, you're going for yeses. You've got people who are yes now and people who are going to be yes later, but overall, everyone's going to be a yes. Okay. So how do you build trust? So we talked about it all depends on trust. So how do you actually build it? There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. I'll break through them really quick and then I'll break them out for you guys, okay? The first is chemistry. Chemistry. The second is character. Character. The third is competence. Competence. I'm only repeating it because I see you guys writing it down. The fourth is consistency. Consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. If you go back on YouTube and watch me do this training over the last 2 years, you'll see they weren't all starting with C's at first, but I just eventually got them all to start with C's. That kind of stuff just makes me happy. I don't know about you guys. I'm one of those OCD kind of people. All right, so let's break these out real quick. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? It's really hard to trust somebody you don't like. Would you guys agree? And if you guys just spend a day on Facebook, would you be able to pick out people that you probably are not going to like right away based on things that they're posting and whatnot, right? But the bottom line is that you have common ground with everybody. If you just take a minute to ask some questions, close your mouth and listen, you can focus on what you have in common instead of how we're different. And if you believe that your products are for everybody and that your business opportunity can help everybody, then it's important to get to the chemistry and forget about the differences. Make sense? All right. The second is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, please notice this, ladies. You don't have character. Character is something you do. Does that make sense? You do character. You don't have character. And this is one of those things we always get confused. We're like, how dare you question my character, right? We get offended. Are you showing that person that you care for them? Are you demonstrating your character to them? This is important to remind ourselves. And when you're building a business, when you're creating a following online, things like that, you need to be demonstrating care for people. And they also need to know that you're relatable. They need to know that you're relatable. And this is when you're sharing your story, you're sharing your struggles, and they can see that you are like them. Okay? Character is something you do. Okay, just one little note on this, because I don't want to go off on too many tangents for you guys tonight, but I will go off on a few. I apologize. But like when you're posting on social media, just ask yourself the question, is this about me or is this about them? That's the easiest way to think about it. If this is about me, like it's for me, this is for me type thing, it's not a good post. Bad character. It needs to be value for the person who's going to see it. Okay, 3, competence. Competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you are a business person. Again, I know I'm speaking to leaders here, but for the recording, I'm just going to tell everybody, especially the new people who may be watching this, that when people need to know you're competent, and you've probably been told by somebody in your life, you need to just fake it till you make it. And I'm here to tell you guys, in relationship marketing, please don't fake it. You don't need to be fake. You need to be real. You need to be trustworthy, right? We're building trust. Because you don't need to fake it, because your team is so competent. Your upline is so competent. Your mentor will help you, or your mentor's mentor will help you. Lean into the competence of your team until you have it yourself. Okay, but I need to know coming in, can you help me with the products I need to buy, and can you help me build my business? And if you can't, I need to know that you're part of a group that can. That's all. And so if you're new, lean into the competence of your team. When you build your own competence, teach your new people to lean into your competence, but don't ask them to fake it. Chemistry, character, competence. These are based on 3 timeless principles you guys will have seen probably in 10 different books you've read already in your personal development journey, which is this. People only care about three things when they're going to do business with you. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? These are the subconscious questions that are happening in the back of their mind that determines whether or not they trust you, that they want to do business with you. And when you guys get objections in your business, all objections come from these. Right? There might be an objection to an ingredient in a product, and you need to explain and overcome that objection like a pro. But no, okay, I need to work on that relationship. This relationship is not at a level of trust yet. I need to continue investing in this person to build trust with them. Make sense? Okay. Consistency. Number 4, consistency. Everything that's good in our life comes down to whether or not we can do it consistently, right? And some of the bad things too. We consistently have bad habits and they lead us to a different place. When it comes to building trust, consistency is the ultimate thing. How many of you guys are parents? Most of you guys. Wouldn't you agree being consistent is how you build trust with your kids? It's huge. And I love this principle. I paraphrased it from one of my favorite books. I'll share the title in a second. And it's this: people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. I'm sure you guys have been told how inspiring you are, right? I mean, people are like, man, I've been watching you on Instagram, watching you on Facebook. You're so inspiring. What is it about you, do you think, that's inspiring? I mean, I would guess people see you doing things consistently that they wish they could be doing, right? They see you doing things consistently that they wish they can be doing. They respect it. They desire it to themselves. The consistency not only builds trust, but it attracts people to you. It becomes part of your attraction marketing. People want to be near it. It's so huge. And I'm going to be talking to you guys specifically today about consistently being in touch with people. Okay? Because it's huge. It's huge. I know one of the things that in my business coaching before Teamzy is I would tell my clients, I want you to be in touch with people, different frequencies. And I want you to tell them you're going to be in touch with them. Hey, I'm going to stay in touch with you. And people are like, okay. And then they won't actually believe you until you've done it for like 6 months. And then they're like, wow, you really meant it. Right? And then the trust is there and it's like, bam. Okay. So this is the book that I'm going to recommend to you guys really quick. It's a great book. It's called, here's a picture here, Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. If you guys haven't read this, read it. If you would rather get the Reader's Digest version, he has a TED Talk where he goes through the 6 principles in about 20 minutes so you can get the gist of it. This is a great book for people in our business. But one of the 6 laws is consistency. It's actually one of the most powerful motivators for all people. When we were kids, we called it peer pressure. Right? We wanted to be consistent with our friends. It's huge. Consistency drives everything. Okay, so are you consistent with your relationships, guys? This is the question. Zig Ziglar would call it a checkup from the neck up. I know you're doing things like posting on social media consistently, but are you consistently in touch with people, with your customers, with your prospects, your friends, your family, your acquaintances, your team, your downline? And it's okay if the answer is not really right now, because by the end of this call, you're going to have a tool at your disposal that's going to make you guys look amazing. People are going to be like, wow, you're so on top of things. It's just a system. So the principle for you is people won't believe it till they see it. They won't believe you till they see you. And there are people following you, Kelly's got like, I don't know. I just clicked to see who we know in common on your Facebook, and it said that she has, not only does she have her 5,000 friends, which by the way, I'm really honored to have a slot. I'm sure you'll unfriend me after this, but give that slot to a new prospect. She's got 50,000 people following her, right? So I'm guessing, Kelly, that, and just nod and agree even if I'm wrong, because that would be really helpful for me as I use you as an example. I'm guessing that you'll do a post and you'll get a great response. And you'll get a great response, but you won't get 50,000 responses, right? And a great response would be 100 comments, 200 comments would be awesome. But we're talking about 55,000 people. Why is not everybody responding? And that's because there are people who watch you guys like you're a TV show. Okay? They don't believe, they love watching it, but they don't believe they're part of it. It's when you reach out and touch them individually that they believe it, that they believe you've been inviting them all along, right? You're going to get 2 to 5% of the people that put their hand up and say, yeah, you're talking to me, and the rest are just watching you on TV. They won't believe you till they see you, till you actually connect with them. Okay, so just keep in mind that relationship building is a contact sport, which means if you want to have a relationship, you need to be in regular contact, okay? I know that your time is scarce, and believe me, I'm going to show you how to do it in less than an hour a day, okay? All right. Here's another principle, and I'm actually going to show you the software in a second. Can you believe it? Has this been helpful, though, guys? Because I want you to understand this is not just an app that's going to help you keep track of your lists. It's a way, an approach, and there's a heart behind it. Okay. So investing time in connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time in connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, I'm just going to give you an example. Have you guys ever received, here, let me stop this share for a second so I can look at you while I say this. Have you guys ever seen, have you received a card from somebody, like a great card for your birthday, anniversary, or just because? And in the card was a handwritten message, like a really beautiful handwritten sentiment. You guys ever get a card like that? And when you read that card, you have an emotional response to it, right? It moves you. And then after you've read the card and you've had the emotional response, then you just put it right in the trash can, right? Does anybody keep those cards? Everyone keeps those cards. You guys have like a special place where you keep those cards? I know, like at our house, my wife bought these beautiful matching boxes. I think she got them at like Marshall's or somewhere, right? Like they stack and they're full of cards. We can't throw them away. And just a little side note, if you wondered what the marketing collateral you could buy for your business that somebody would keep forever, it's a card. It's a handwritten card. Okay, so that should be part of your marketing plan, is sending cards occasionally to people. You can get a beautiful, unique card made, right? But let me ask you another question. Do you guys ever get one of these? This is a birthday postcard I got from my my State Farm insurance rep. You ever get one of these? Or from the dentist, or the doctor, right? My dog gets one from the vet. Happy birthday. Oh, and she needs shots, right? And when you get something like this was even handwritten, kind of. I mean, it was printed with handwriting. Does this go in the special place? Why? This one you throw away, right? You probably don't even read it. It goes right in the trash. What's the difference? The difference is that handwritten card, somebody invested the most valuable thing they have, their time, and they invested it into you. Now, have you guys ever tried to write a really moving message to somebody in a card while like playing with your Facebook app on your phone at the same time? No, it's undivided attention. That's one of the reasons why cards are so valued. And it's an example of how investing time deepens a relationship. Now, I've recommended that you write cards, but you don't need to be writing cards all day. Even just sending somebody a message on Facebook, a one-on-one message on Facebook, is powerful. I recently messaged a Teamzy user who's a top Beachbody coach on his birthday. You get the little birthday message on Facebook? I just messaged him, hey man, I hope you're having a great birthday. I hope today's full of laughter and love. And he responded and he goes, Eric, it's funny. I had 300 people post on my wall today. You're the only one who messaged me. He goes, I guess you are the Teamzy guy. This just happened 2 weeks ago. The same amount of time, right? But it's one-on-one, just for them. Huge. All right, so let me jump back into my presentation, jump into Teamzy. You guys haven't even seen it yet. I've already got you excited, right? So what you need is a system. You need a system. I know you guys are great at connecting with people, or you wouldn't be as successful as you are. But what you're lacking right now probably is a system, a way to stay in contact with all your relationships, all of them. There's a way to do it, all of them, okay? Know when to contact them. So you're not spending your time planning your lists or paying an assistant to spend her whole day planning the lists. Know what you're gonna say, so you're not spending all day figuring out how to message each individual person or racking your brains over it. And make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks, right? Years ago, I was at a conference of real estate agents, and at the time, the average commission was $6,000 or something for a real estate transaction. And we had 6,000 people in attendance. And the speaker said, everybody take a dollar bill out of your wallet. And everybody did. And he said, tear up the dollar bill, throw it in the air. And so $6,000 went up in the air. And he's like, that's what one falling through the cracks is worth. It was powerful. He got in trouble with the U.S. Treasury for that, though. That's very illegal. But anyways, it was a powerful, powerful thing. And it's, people falling through the cracks is brutal. And I know that, especially at your guys' level, a lot of people are falling through the cracks. So you need a system to maintain that. All right, let's jump out and look at Teamzy. You guys are going to love this. All right, here's my Teamzy dashboard. And this is the Younique specific. See, look, I already have my black presenter because I'm affirming my audience. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I want you guys to know there's a free 30-day trial. It's free. We don't ask for a credit card. We don't even ask for your real name. You should use your real name, right? We don't care. We just want you to use it. We know that if you use it for 30 days, you will absolutely love it. I'm just confident that you will. Okay, so get in there and go to teamzy.com and get your free trial started. That part's done. Now, when you start the free trial, we have the setup wizard that kind of walks you through the process of setting it up. And we do that because, you know, like Kelly, I'm not very tech savvy and it needed to be easy. And this is what it looks like. I can launch it over here by this little cogwheel. The setup wizard looks like this. It takes you through this process. You can sign up for Facebook Messenger updates from us, which will help you through your trial. I'm going to skip that right now. And so in the setup wizard, we're going to do three things. We're going to set your income goal. Now, once you set an income goal, Teamzy will backward engineer what you need to do every day to hit it, right? Which is cool, not just for you, but for your team. You get a new person in, you're like, great, you want to try this out? How much you want to make? Boom, here's what you need to do every day. We'll help you create a powerful why, and we'll walk you through it in a pretty simple process that you can also use to train your team on finding their why, so that we can reduce that number of people who quit every year, which, by the way, right now is 1 out of 2. Crazy, right? 1 out of 2 quit in the first year. And then we'll get all your contacts in from everywhere, wherever you have them. We'll get them in one place. Guys, working out of notebooks and on spreadsheets is great, but it is literally like driving a horse and buggy in the 21st century. Okay? We need to get you guys so that everything lives here. It's in the cloud. It's on your phone. It's everywhere you go. Okay? All right. Set your income goal. So the first thing I'm going to do is put an income goal. I put in 150,000. This was my goal for the 12 months out. So I'm starting out, where do I want to be 12 months from now? Okay. Now, I don't know you guys personally or where your level of business is, but I always tell people who have already built a pretty successful business, I want you to think about what's the new amount of business you'll create in the next 12 months. Okay. Because I have done this presentation for people with 7-figure incomes. Great. So just put it out there. The new income you're going to create in your business for the next 12 months. Okay. So now I put in 150. Next page, Teamzy has told me that I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months in order to hit my goal. So it's a pretty big number. It was a pretty aggressive goal for the first year, right? There's little videos here that explain what we're talking about as you go. You've got me live. We won't play them. The next page breaks it down, because when you go to eat an elephant, how do you do it? One bite at a time. One bite at a time, right? So it breaks it down yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And it breaks it into 3 groups: your prospects, your customers, and your presenters. Okay? So that huge number, 4,348, is now connect with 9 prospects a day, connect with 6 customers a day, connect with 4 presenters a day. Now, here's the cool thing about it. Teamzy's telling me I need to connect with 19 people today. And when we get to the dashboard, it will tell me which 19 people to connect with. You won't have to think. Once you've set this up once, guys, you don't have to think. You just do. It's super fun. And it's kind of surprising sometimes who you're talking to. You just go for it. Okay. You can change these numbers, by the way, to whatever you want. I'll change that one to 10, right? And then there's 2 other numbers here. Daily invites. These are people that you're actually inviting to a business opportunity or to a virtual event or whatever you're sending samples to. These are people that you're talking to about the business. So when we're connecting with people, we're not inviting, recruiting, or selling. We're just connecting. We're just starting a conversation, just trying to make their day, right? And I always talk to people about getting in the make someone's day mindset. Our goal is just to make their day. The goal when we connect is to make someone's day and find a way to help them, and then have a conversation, ask questions, form them, and find opportunities to invite them to the business. Does that make sense? That's why connects are separate from invites. And then daily ads, these are new people you're adding to your list. We default these to 3 and 3 because that is the minimum number you need to be doing every day to keep your business growing. Okay, 3 new ads and 3 invites. You can also change those. You can be crazy, nuts, and put in whatever. I know a lot of people who do 25 ads a day. They're on Instagram. You know, they're friending people like crazy. That's what they do. All right, next. Finding your why. Now I'm going to take you through this as fast as I can. I tend to get really excited and passionate about this. I'll try to keep it right here, okay? But basically, your why is your why statement, your vision. You guys have heard people talk about that. How many of you guys have a written why statement? Do any of you guys have one? This is really important because we talked about the fact that 1 out of 2 people quit in the first year. The reason they quit is because they don't really know what the reason for persisting is. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to make more money, right? But you need to have something that's really tied to emotion. So I'm going to take you guys through this process. We have 5 questions built into Teamzy that help you think about it. Before I start, though, I was telling Kelly, I always ask people a couple questions to get them in the right frame of mind. What is it? I don't know if I told you this, Kelly. I'm getting all my presentations mixed up. But let me ask you guys this. What do you believe in so strongly that you would never compromise it? You don't have to tell me. Just think about it in your mind. Who or what would you put yourself in harm's way for? Who or what would you put yourself in harm's way for? Who or what would you actually die for? Now, if you thought of somebody or something for those questions, the question I would ask you now is, what will you do to live for them? To truly live for them. Okay, now I think I got you guys in the right place for this, right? So let me show you how easy this is. We've basically condensed all the different trainings and learnings that we found out there into this really simple tool because we want something that you guys can duplicate easily with your downlines. So the first question is, why did you become a presenter? Why? And I'll tell you guys my story just as an example. I was a Beachbody coach. I'm no longer a Beachbody coach, just to clarify you guys, because Teamzy just went like this and I needed to just go with it. But why did you become a presenter? I joined my business because I loved the products and people could see the difference in me. They were asking me about it, right? Some of you guys probably had a similar thing, like, what are you doing? You look great. So I figured I would just do it. Why not? What did you hope to accomplish? Oh, in fact, just to be honest, I did it for a year for the discount. So I was already doing it. What did you hope to accomplish? I thought it'd be cool if I could make some extra money, right? And I asked my sponsor, do you think I can make $500 a month doing this on the side? I think you could do that easy. Great. That's what I'd like to do. So again, extra money is nice. How many people do you think are on your teams that thought a little extra money would be nice? Yeah, it's not enough to keep them there though, right? Why is that important to you? Third question. Why is that important to you? Well, the reason why it was important to me was I wanted to save that $500 a month. I wanted to put it in a savings account. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because we had gone through a tough time through the Great Recession. I lost my job. I was laid off like half of this country. And I had to find work doing something else, getting paid less. And it was really stressful. After the recession kind of started getting better, I was able to get back into my original industry. And it was really stressful. I mean, it was, I'd never worried about that before, but now suddenly it was always there, that money worry. And for 6 years, almost 7 years, we didn't save a penny. You know, by God's good grace, we made it through. We didn't lose our home or anything. We made it. But we used all our savings and we didn't save a penny for almost 7 years. So putting $500 in the bank was a really exciting idea for me. Make sense? And that was the number I wanted because that's what I was putting in the bank every month before. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? Next question. My first thought was, if I could save that money long enough, we could buy a bigger house because we had a small house and 4 kids. And when we started, it was a great big house because it was just 2 of us. Now it was not a big house anymore. That's what I thought. That would be cool. How many of you guys would like a new house? Yeah, I mean, it is an exciting thing, right? And then I get down to this last question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? And this one bothered me because I had to really think about it. And I realized this, that buying a house really isn't that meaningful. I mean, it'd be nice, but it's really not a meaningful goal, right? Selling everything and going and being a missionary in Africa would be meaningful. Buying your house is kind of shallow. But when I thought about how it made me feel, here's what I realized, you guys. And I hope that you guys going through this process will have a similar aha moment, and your teams will too. The house was symbolic. It was symbolic of something else that was going on that I hadn't allowed myself to think about. And when I really thought about why do I want a house, I realized this. It's my life with my family that's not right. The house represents that. But I never saw my kids. I was constantly working. I was considered the top of my industry, but I hadn't earned an income raise in several years. Was working constantly. We were barely making it. I told you we weren't able to save any money, right? And so it was really stressful. I was worried about losing my job on the next downturn. I would get up in the morning, kiss my kids goodbye. They're still in their pajamas. When I got home, they were back in their pajamas and I tuck them in bed. That was my relationship with my kids. And I realized something. Oh my gosh. This is more than $500 a month. This is an opportunity to create the life I always wanted. This is an opportunity to design the life where I can be with my kids, where I can create financial freedom, right? All of those things. I can get rid of the worry and the stress and all of the BS politics at the office and all that stuff, right? How many of you guys still have a normal job somewhere? Not too many yet on this group. Oh my gosh, I had a nemesis there. Do you guys ever have a nemesis at your work? Like your enemy? And I'm like the nicest guy in the world, so I don't know why this person, so anyways, I'm so glad to be free of that, right? So I created this why. Here's the thing. This thought process took me to this why. This last box I created my why statement. This is the actual statement I wrote those a couple of years ago when I went through this process. To create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family. I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. This statement, what you put in this bottom box, when you click continue, it will publish to the dashboard of Teamzy. So every day when you log in for your power hour, you read it to yourself. It motivates you. On the days you don't feel like doing this for 20 minutes, oh my gosh, how many days do you not feel like doing it? It's like every other day for me, I'll be honest, right? Like I'm busy. And especially when you get some momentum, it's like, I'm busy. I just processed 15 orders. I don't need to go prospect for 20 minutes. I don't want to. And then you read this and you remember what's on the line. And then you think about your job that you want to get out of, or you think about where you are, where you feel stagnant, and it pushes you just to do that 30 minutes of work, keep that momentum going in your business, and it'll do the same for your people. Okay. So I think it's important. Can you tell? Last bit is we're going to get your contacts loaded in. These are little videos that will help you do it, right? We've also got a really cool FAQ section where all of these instructions are written out for those of you guys who are more methodical. But it's real easy. We're going to go into the back office. We're going to get your downline list and your customer list imported into Teamzy. We're going to go into Facebook. We're going to get all your Facebook friends imported into Teamzy. Anywhere else that you have people, any other list that you have, we're going to get them all into Teamzy, okay? It's as easy as it can possibly be, but some of you guys will still struggle a little with this just because, and that's cool. We have an amazing customer service team. If you find that you're struggling at all, you just need to send us a little help message and somebody will walk you through one-on-one. Okay? So don't struggle too long. Just be like, either you're going to get it or you're not. And if you don't, just let us know because we don't want you stuck on that. We want you in there connecting with people and making people's day. Cool? All right, so I'm going to skip this. Now, the last step for setting up is ranking. And I'm going to go through this just really quick, and then we're going to crush a power hour together, but we'll do it in 5 minutes. Okay, don't worry. So once you've done an import, it's going to take you to your team page. See on the left side, the team page is where your entire list is. And when we say team, we mean everybody. Your prospects, your customers, and your actual team. Because everybody is on your team, if that makes sense. Okay. And you'll be in rank mode. It'll look like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to rank everybody 5 stars to 1 star, depending on how awesome they are. You guys get that, right? You do that all the time. Now, this is what the ranks actually mean. I'm going to tell you what the ranks mean, but it's based on this principle. You have to prioritize relationships if you want to prioritize time. You have to. If you don't prioritize relationships first before you prioritize time, what happens is the turkeys, which is my affectionate term, you can fill in whatever word you want for that. steal your time. They steal it. They take it. They take it from you. And relationship marketing is based on this principle, guys. You should spend the most time with the best people. You should spend the most time with the best people. You should spend the most time with the best builders on your team. You should spend the most time with the best customers. You should spend the most time with the hottest prospects. Okay? And we do that by doing this little prioritization. Now, if you have a huge list and you're intimidated by going down the whole list and ranking everybody, what you can do is leave the majority as 3s and just look for the 4s and 5s and cherry pick them out, okay? And you just scroll down this list and boom, 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 boom. Oh, I don't like this guy at all. I'm just gonna delete him off my list. You just click that little trash can and delete him, okay? It's really easy. Just jam down your list. Or you see, you've got 750 presenters that you don't know that have friended you on Facebook. You can just delete them out, okay? Pretty easy. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup, just a little bit of cleanup of your list one time, and it's worth it. It's like you're moving into your dream home, and now you're gonna put the dishes in the kitchen. You gotta unpack them and set it up. Now we're ready. Once you do that, we are ready to rock. Oh wait, I told you I was gonna tell you the ranks. I didn't. Let me do it real quick. A 5-star is somebody most likely to become a customer presenter, or they're an existing customer presenter that's a rock star. Okay, a 5-star person's gonna come up on your dashboard to connect with, just to say hey, to keep the relationship going every 30 days. 5 stars is 30 days. A 4-star is somebody likely to become a customer presenter with a little nurturing, or they're an existing customer presenter that's just a solid performer. Okay, they're gonna come up every 60 days on your dashboard. You're just gonna get a little, hey, connect with that person. 3 stars could go either way. That's why most people are gonna be 3 stars on your list. And when you do an import, everyone's gonna start as a 3-star. They're gonna come up every 90 days, okay? Every 90 days. And then 2 stars are every 120 days. Okay. 1 stars are people that are not gonna show up on your list. They're just in Teamzy. You can look them up, but they're the people that you, for whatever reason, have kind of put in storage, okay? So once you got this done, nobody can fall through the cracks. They are going to constantly cycle up on Teamzy. The only way you cannot see them is if you're not using Teamzy. Okay? All right, so now we're ready to rock our power hour. Here's my dashboard. I'm gonna give you a quick tour of it and then we'll rock it. Right here in the middle is the who's up next box. That's where we're gonna work, okay? That tells us who to connect with. And it's got 4 lists: prospects, customers, presenters, and follow-ups. Okay, you know what? I didn't set this up and put people in all the categories. Silly me. Let me just show you how easy that is. Let's say these people are customers. I got rid of all the real data because I didn't want to actually message real people today. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, guys, so that I have people on all my lists. This is another easy way for you to clean up your list, though. You can put it on type mode like this, and you can jam down your list. And you can move people. So if you did have presenters on here that you don't want to delete, like let's say Julianne was a presenter and she showed up on your prospect list from Facebook, you could just put presenter, right? And then when we go over here, I could say she's a sideline. Boom. How cool is that? So she'll still show up on my list and I'll still get a reminder to connect and say, hey, but she'll be set up as a sideline person. So I can still have the thing. And if you don't want her on the list, just delete her. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just have to say, I didn't see that yesterday. That is like, especially for my team, that's like pure solid gold for us because like I was saying yesterday, we have a really popular team. And so we have a ton of presenter followers and friends. That's like the most unbelievable thing to just be able to say, hey, they're not on my team, they're on someone else's team, or delete them off my list. Because if you delete them off your list here, ladies, you can go find them on Facebook and you can unfollow or unfriend on Facebook too and start to clean up your Facebook page and start to see more prospects in your newsfeed instead of presenters. Yeah. So good. Sorry, I just had to butt in for a second.
I know a lot of people who have a message that says, hey, I needed to unfriend you to make room for new prospects, but I hope you'll just follow me and we'll stay connected that way. So that happens all the time. It's not a big deal. So yes, you can do it that way. And here's my recommendation for keeping sideline people. Is it somebody you want a relationship with? That's the filter. If I'd like a relationship with this person, and there's lots of reasons to have a relationship with a sideline person, keep them. If you look at them and you're like, I have no need for a relationship with this person, as harsh as that sounds, or at least a consistent one, you can delete them off your list. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. We got prospects, customers, presenters, and your follow-ups list, okay? So what I'm gonna do, you guys, real quick, is I'm gonna show you how to do this, but first let me just show you a couple things on the dashboard. Today's activities are the goals we set and set up. So here's our goal is to connect with 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 presenters, do 3 invites and 2 ads. Every time we do something, this scoreboard is gonna show us. So it's gonna give us a little bit of feedback and you'll get these little encouragements. Your goal is to get 100% and you get a you crushed it message, right? And I'll tell you what to do with that later. If you need to look somebody up that's not on this list, you just look them up in the lookup bar. You can search by a piece of their name, a piece of their email address, or a piece of their phone number, or the whole thing. But I'm too lazy to get that far. I type 3 letters and there they are, boom. Also, if you need to add somebody new after you do your imports, you just click here. Super easy, fast to add people. We have a mobile website, so once you set up, you can do all this on your phone too as you're jamming along in your day. Okay, so let's do, and then there's your dailies here. These are just things to keep you accountable to things you need to be doing, posting on social, personal development work, right? Taking care of your body, using the products, being a part of the product, things like that. Okay, so now we're ready. You turn on Teamzy. Once this is set up, you see my Y is over here on the side. Once you've set this up, you just turn it on and go. So let's say I always did my power hour at like 4:30 in the morning, right? And like you guys had people all over the country, so the East Coast people don't even bat an eye, but that's when I did it. Also, people wouldn't message me back so I could get them done. So I'm gonna do, let's say it's 4:30 in the morning, I turn on my Teamzy and I'm gonna come do my power hour. The first person on my list is Jay, okay? So what I'm gonna do with Jay is I'm gonna look her up in Facebook. I've got my Facebook open in a separate tab. Let me close all this stuff. Look her up. Great, there she is. She works for Teamzy, don't worry, we're just gonna send her a message. I send her these all day long. Oh, but you know what? I don't know what I'm gonna say to Jay. Does that ever happen to you? You're like, what am I gonna say? I don't even remember who this person is. So if that happens, what you do is you just go over here on the right and you click scripts, and we've created a bunch of really easy connect scripts that you can grab. So let's say this is Facebook, so I'm gonna grab from Facebook. And here's a great one. Okay, hi Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Right? Or maybe I don't even know who she is. I'll use this one. Hi Jane, I saw you cross my Facebook feed and thought I'd say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. This one works great, by the way, for people that you're not even sure why you're friends with them. But here's what I want you guys to know. They know who you are, most cases, and they'll be excited to hear from you. So I just clicked copy script, copied that to my clipboard. Now I'm gonna jump back to Facebook and actually send her that message, right? Change the name, unless her name's Jane. Okay? Now before I send it, I'm gonna copy it because I'm lazy and I don't wanna have to type a note in Teamzy and I can just paste it. So that message is now sent on Facebook. Now I'm gonna go to Teamzy and I'm just gonna log that I sent her that message, okay? What type of message? It was a Facebook message. And I'm gonna hit log connect. Now watch what happens to my dashboard. I get 1 on the scoreboard and now she's off my list and my list has moved up. Kelly's next. Kelly, you're my guinea pig again. So now I'm gonna look up Kelly. Gosh, I know a lot of Kellys. Okay, and I'm gonna send her the same message. Change the name. Okay, are you guys with me? Do you see how easy this is? How quickly do you think I'll get through the 10 on my prospect list? And the goal of this message is to connect. It's just to make them smile, probably go look at my Facebook page, and maybe start a conversation. Okay, that's the goal. You're gonna find, now I'm gonna log that one, you're gonna find that the response rate is through the roof. I tell people if you're, like a average to poor response rate will be 50%. Okay, so now I'm gonna log that. So now I've got 2 on the board. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing with the next 8 people until I get to 10. Okay? And if I saw that, 3 months ago I sent them a message, they didn't respond, I'll just grab a different message or I'll change it just a touch, okay? Now, when that's all done, I'm gonna go to my customers list and I'm gonna connect with my customers the same way. When you get consistent using this, you don't need to set follow-ups and reminders and stuff for your customers. You're just gonna be in touch all the time, which just simplifies your life, right? Now you can set follow-ups and I'll show you how to do that. You can set them and put them on your follow-ups list, that 4th list over there. But in the meantime, we're just gonna connect with customers. And then you've got some cool customer scripts already lined up for you, okay? This is a great one. Like I put in some asking for recommendations once because I'm huge on generating referrals from your current customers. That is the hottest source for new lead. Like, here's the script. Jenny, you're looking amazing. You must be feeling pretty good about the results you're getting. I'm planning my calendar now, looking at who I'll be able to help this month. And before it fills up, I wanted to ask you if there's anyone you care about that might like to learn more about our amazing products. Great, just send me over the contact information and I'll get them some more information. Right? There's an example of a script you could send somebody. Okay, so if I copied that script, I could then send that to Kathy. I'm not going to actually send it because she doesn't really exist. She's a fake name, but you get the idea. Right? I could send her that and log it. Same thing. So now I'm starting to get scores on my customer list, right? And I'm going to do the same thing 6 times. I'm going to connect with 6 customers, whatever your goal is for the day. I'm going to crank through those customers. Then I'm going to get to my presenters and I'm going to make personal contact with my team. This is so huge, you guys, because as your team grows big, the tendency in this business is, well, my team's too big for me to be in touch with them personally anymore. And it's guys, I just got to tell you, I'm going to tell you this story really quick. So you guys just in Punta Cana, or is it coming up? You guys were just there? So when I was with Beachbody, you know, I always won the free vacation. And one year we went on this Caribbean cruise on I forget the name of the ship. It's like the largest ship in the world. It has like zip lining. It's amazing. And nobody knows me as Eric. I'm just Teamzy guy. It's Teamzy guy. It's the Teamzy guy, you know, constantly the Teamzy guy. And I was talking to somebody who had a really, really good business. I mean, she was, you know, probably the double 6 figures range. She was a very successful person, and her sponsoring person was like what they call a superstar diamond, right? And I'm not even sure, but it's like, that's like when you get to the top status 3 or 4 times over, right? And so I asked her, I go, do you guys talk? Do you talk to her? She goes, no, not since she signed me up, but I could always get to her through her assistant if I needed to. And I said, well, how would you feel if she sent you a text message just out of the blue that said, hey, just want to let you know I'm proud of you and wondering if there's anything I can do to support your business. You guys, I'm telling you right now, this woman, who was somebody that I respect, like her, she welled up with tears. Like, you're a big deal to these people. And it only takes a second to send them a message. And it's going to really make their day. And we talk about retaining people, keeping people in the business when they're going through troubles. That relationship works better than a paycheck on most people. So that's why we call it Teamzy. And not recruity. It's about building your team, right? It's about building those team relationships. So the same thing, guys. I'm going to connect with my team. Presenters, our goal was 4, whatever. We're going to crank through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I know Kelly was talking about, she wants to put the heavy end on the presenters and the smaller end on the prospects. You guys may be at that point too. She wants to invest in her team. So that's what we do. We crank through a power hour: prospects, customers, presenters. Our goal was 20 people mixed between the 3 groups. Do you guys see how we can do that in 30 minutes? Sending these messages out. Now, how do I get people on my follow-ups list? This is the cool part. So you've sent these messages out. And now throughout the day, people are responding. Oh my gosh, great to hear from you. Thank you for reaching out, you know, and you're starting to talk to people. And you're just like all day long talking to people, right? Talking to people, having conversations, catching up, asking about their kids, telling about your kids, you know, and then they'll ask you like, well, how's that Younique thing going for you? Or I saw your video last week. It was really cool. This is where you find out, by the way, that people are watching you like a TV show when you connect with them. And you're having conversations. And out of those conversations, some of those conversations will fizzle out. They'll just be nice. And you'll have moved that relationship a little bit, and it's fine because you'll talk to them again in a couple months. But some people will be genuinely interested in what you're doing, and that's where you invite them. Invite them to one of your events, to one of your virtual things, to a local event, to, you know, whatever, a business opportunity call. That's where you're going to invite them. So let's just use as an example, Kelly. Oh, you're in here twice, probably from yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to use Kelly as my example. I'm talking to her. She's really interested. For some reason, she loves this Younique stuff. Like, I really think she could be my next builder. What do you guys think? You think it'd be a good choice? Yeah. So I'm going to tell her, you know, hey, you know, it is really fun and we're talking about it. You know, usually what I would do, if somebody shows a little bit of interest, I would say, let's jump on the phone and talk. right? Or I throw up a Zoom link and then we could talk face to face, or connect in person if they're local. I like to message. I don't believe you should ever call people until you've already agreed that you're going to call people. That's just the way I am, because I hate when my phone rings. But once you start messaging, it's like, hey, let's jump on the phone. So I talk to her a little bit, tell her a little bit about it, and then go, you know what? We have an opportunity call tonight. It's on Facebook. I'll send you the link. I'll email it to you right now. And it would be great. It would be a great opportunity for you to learn more about the business and see what we're doing. She's like, oh my gosh, that would be great. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log this invitation, right? Just put a little note and see where this says invite. So I'm going to click that. And that changes the connect to an invite type of connect. And then there's a few types here. Let's call it opportunity call. Excuse me. Right? And I'll send that via email. Okay, great. So before I log this though, I'm talking to her and she's like, that would be great. Okay, great. The call's tonight. I'll check in with you tomorrow, Kelly, and see if you have any questions. Sound cool? She's great. That sounds great, Eric. Great. So I need to set a follow-up for tomorrow, right? Otherwise, she's going to drop back in for a month. So I need to set a follow-up for tomorrow. As soon as I set that follow-up and log it, now the follow-up is set on her record. And now she's no longer on my prospects list. Now she's temporarily moved over to my follow-ups list. Okay? And I'm going to keep her on my follow-ups list until she converts or tells me to go away. This is what so all day long I'm connecting with prospects, just connecting, make their day, find a way to help them, right? Like you pride yourself on helping them if it's unrelated with your business. I had in my consulting business, had a customer for 11 years. One of the first times we had dinner together, he's in your guys' area. He's in Boston. And I would go out there once a year and we'd have dinner. And he told me that he sleeps 3 hours a day. His whole life slept 3 hours a day. Right? So the first thing I did was I went to Barnes & Noble. This was back before you just go on Amazon for everything. And I found a book on how to improve your sleeping. And I sent it to him with a note. Didn't think anything of it. That's what I'm talking about, though. Finding ways to help people. Guys, a decade later, we were in Boston having dinner. And he says, I still have that book. And I really appreciate it, by the way. I've been averaging 6 hours a night since then. 10 years later. My point, guys, so helping people really does pay off, right? And I can't even tell you the thousands and thousands of dollars that he invested in our services over those years. Finding ways to help them. But then when they're interested, I'm going to put them on my follow-ups list. Now, here's the thing about follow-ups. Now, you guys, hold on, I need to see the gallery view, not my own face. You guys are the leaders, right? And your teams are now going to watch this recording later. So it's okay if you don't want to admit to this, but you guys know that 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up, right? Have you guys heard that before? Yeah, look at all those nodding heads. See, I just get this. No, please don't tell me that's true. How many of you guys typically follow up 10 times? Anyone follow up 10 times? Nobody even at this level, it's so rare. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to know about this. I know why you don't. The first reason you don't is you don't have a system. There's no way you can stay on top of somebody 10 times over weeks with the system you have now, right? Realistically, there's just no way. So I'm glad you guys admitted that. Now, for some of your new people who only have 2 prospects, they don't have that excuse. But that's the first reason. But the second reason is you probably feel like you'd be a pest or a nag or like that icky salesperson if you did that, right? How many of you guys feel that way? Okay. So let me just give you a mindset shift really quick. Do you guys believe in your product? Do you think your product is awesome? You better. You better. You're looking at the wrong presenter. How many of you guys truly believe this opportunity can change someone's life for the better? Right? How many would say that's already happened for you? Or you're well into the process? Okay. Now, and you all nodded in agreement when I said 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. So if 80% of the people will not have this life-changing experience if you don't follow up that many times, what are you communicating when you don't? So here's what I want you guys to understand. Following up is not annoying. Following up is an act of love. Write it down. Following up is an act of love. If you love people and want to help them, you need to follow up with them. It's the only way to help them. How many of you guys are parents? Have kids? How many times have you had to tell your kids something before they did it? More than 3 times? Do you stop at 3 times? Do you stop telling your kids to do something because you go, well, I guess you're just not interested? Right? No, you love them enough to keep going, right? Following up is an act of love. Now, here's the good news. There is a way to do it without being annoying. There is a way to do it where people tell you you're awesome and thank you for doing it. Anyone want to learn that? It's really easy. There's 2 principles behind it. I'm going to teach you these 2 principles. Then I'm going to show you how we built them into Teamzy, so even if you don't know these 2 principles, you'll be doing it right. The first principle for not being annoying when you follow up with somebody is never ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Never ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to call you back. Don't ask them to respond. Don't ask them to make their purchase. Don't ask them to RSVP. Don't ask them to do anything, because that's annoying, isn't it? How many of you get a voicemail like this from somebody that says, hey, it's me, can you call me back? I can call you back, but why are you calling me? Can't you just send me a text? Like, what are you doing? Right? And you'll hear all these network marketing trainers go, don't tell people what your product is. You have to create this mystery. Don't tell them why you're following up with them, because if they know that you got to create this mystery, that's why it's annoying, guys. Just boom. You're going to follow up. You're not going to ask them anything. Second principle is this. Your follow-ups need to be sent in a text or message. They need to be short enough that your prospect can read them on the lock screen of their phone without opening it. Because they don't want to open it, because they're not going to respond, and they don't want you to know they've seen it. Do you guys do that? All day long, right? Is it because you don't like that person or you don't want to see the message? Or is it just because right now you can't answer it for whatever reason and you don't want them to feel like you're blowing them off, right? Your people are the same way. So make it easy for them. Follow up. Don't ask them to do anything. Keep it short so they can see it without having to respond right then. Okay, you got those 2 things? If you do those things, you'll never be annoying. Now, I'll just give you guys an example. When I was a business coach, this was way back in the early 2000s. People, even at that time, people were paying about $500 a month to talk to me twice a month. And when it came time for our call, they wouldn't come. They wouldn't be there. Isn't that crazy? Because they hadn't done their homework or whatever, and they didn't want to talk to me. So what I would do is this was back in the day, like there was no Facebook Messenger or anything. I would call them on all their numbers and leave them a message that just said, hey, you don't have to call me back. It's just me checking in, make sure you're okay. And to let you know, I'm going to call you again tomorrow between 8 and 10. And then I would leave that message on all their numbers. And then tomorrow between 8 and 10, I would do the same thing. And then I would do the same thing the next day. And then I'd do the same thing. And within 3 days, they would always pick up and go, oh my gosh, thank you so much. The same thing works with Messenger. Okay? If you do it with the right spirit. Now let me show you how it works in Teamzy. By the way, you guys are excited that we've been around for 2 years, because now there's actually 10 follow-up scripts built into Teamzy already set up like this. Okay, so when I go to follow up with Kelly tomorrow, I'm going to go to my scripts and I'm going to go to follow up 1. Hi, Kelly, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay, I'm not asking her to do anything. I'm here to serve her, and I'm letting her know that I'm fulfilling the promise I gave her. The very first promise I made to her in this business is that I would follow up tomorrow, and I did it. I just put a deposit in her trust bank. Okay, I'll send that message to her on Facebook. Wait, I can just hit the copy script button. I forgot. Make it easier on myself. We'll send her that message on Facebook. Sorry, Kelly, for all these messages. Right? By the way, I love Facebook Messenger because right now it is the best form of communication that exists, and people respond almost 100% to it. That's why I use it so heavily. Okay, so I'm going to log that. Now make sure, guys, as you're doing this, you need to set your next follow-up before you log it. So I'm going to follow up again tomorrow. Always set your next follow-up. If you fail to set a follow-up, she'll fall back into the Teamzy flow. She'll be back on.
Good night, baby. I love you.
Love you too. Oh, that wasn't for me. I'll take it. Make sure you set the next follow-up, okay? So she stays on my list. Then I'm gonna go in tomorrow. I'm gonna get follow-up number 2. You can change these slightly if you want to make them sound like you. 2 says, hey, just make sure you got my email. Check and see if you have any questions. 3 says, I'm excited about the goals we discussed. Can't wait to get started. I think the number one thing that people change is they change hi Jane to hey girl, which I can't do. The only person I call girl is my dog. So number 4 is just staying in touch so I can help you achieve your goals, right? 5. So here's the thing I want you guys to know. Quick thing on follow-ups. And you guys should know this. And if you don't know it consciously, you feel it. You know it's true. The reason why it takes 7 to 8 times for someone to make a buying decision is this. Our subconscious runs the show. You guys know this, right? 85% of our actions come from our subconscious mind. What does our subconscious mind hate? Change. Hates change. Change is scary and not safe. So when you're talking to somebody about this opportunity and they're super excited, oh my gosh, this is so great, I'm so excited. And then you're following up and they're not answering. It's like, what happened? You were so excited. How many times does this happen, right? And it's just crickets. There's no response. Here's what I want you to know. When you follow up and send a message like this, they see it. Every time they see that positive short message, they get a quick replay of that hope and excitement they had when they talked to you for a split second before their subconscious squishes it, right? So they're like, oh yeah, I need to follow up with Eric. Oh, but I can't right now, right? Because the baby just vomited on the dog or whatever. Life has happened. There's always an excuse, right? And then they forget about it and they go about their day. And the next time they get a little message from you, it's like, oh yeah, and then they have another excuse. There's a reason why they can't do it right now. But every day you're staying top of mind, or every other day you're staying top of mind. And they're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And they're seeing your heart, they're seeing your caring. And then what will typically happen is around 5 or 6, which is way beyond when most people will follow up. People will respond with I'm so sorry I haven't responded to your messages. You're so amazing. Thank you so much for staying in touch with me. My life has been nuts the last month, right? Have you guys ever gotten one of those? How many of you, that was actually you? How many of you took forever to join? Right? You were like, I love these products, but I'm busy right now, right? I see the opportunity, but right now I can't because we're getting new floors or whatever, right? Yeah, so those are the people you're talking to too. So just understand that every time they get that little momentary like hope and excitement, their subconscious mind is getting more used to the idea. You're reprogramming them. That is why people make those buying decisions later, because they've had that much time to reprogram their subconscious mind. Cool, right? And this is how you love them. This is the most direct application of love in your business, is following up, because you're helping them get past the bad programming that is keeping them stagnant and stuck in their life. They can't do that on their own. It's impossible. They need you to love them through that process. Make sense? Following up is an act of love. Sticky note right on the side of your computer. Remind yourself that. Okay. Let me show you how to finish this person off in Teamzy, and then I'll open it up to questions because I know it's late out there for you guys. So let's say I'm looking at my back office. I'm like, okay, sweet. Kelly signed up. She got her distributor kit. She's like ready to go. So let me show you how to finish her off. I'm going to look her up in the lookup bar. And I'm going to now log the sale. See right under her name where it says sale? I'm going to click that. I'm going to put that she got her presenter kit. People ask me, why don't you have all the Younique products listed there? Are you serious? How many products do you guys have now? We want to keep this simple, right? All I really care about is, did she buy something? And was it a presenter kit or not, right? So she got a presenter kit. Great, I'm going to save that. So now I know that happened. Now she's still a prospect. I need to move her over here to presenter by clicking on it. And now I'm going to, what type is she? She's personally sponsored. Boom. Now I've moved her from prospect over to my team. And I'll continue to connect with her on the presenter tab. Cool? If she just purchased a product, I'd move her over to the customer tab and I'd talk to her there. Okay. You guys did some good chats. So I'm going to look at these, but if you have a question, just unmute and ask.
Eric, that's really just us talking. There's not a ton of questions in there for you. We like to chat, we're women. The biggest question that everyone was asking, though, is about how, just because so many of us are moms and so many of us are, a lot of my girls do have jobs, how does it work mobily?
Okay, let me show you. I think.
Just because, like, the cross between, like, you work on Facebook and then you put your follow-up into Teamzy, right? Like, you copy your script and put it into Teamzy so you know what you messaged them last time. You know, so how do we go back and forth mobily with ease so that it doesn't become like a daunting task?
Okay, so I am sharing. Do you guys see are you guys seeing my phone right now? Okay, hold on a second. There it goes. Bam, there's my phone. You're seeing it right now. Cool, right? So the mobile website is app.teamzy.com, app.teamzy.com. It's actually the same as Teamzy. Once you log in, it moves to app.teamzy because that's the behind the login. Okay, so you just want to save that to your home screen so that you can get to it all the time. So here it is. So mobily, look, I have the same dashboard. It's a little different because this is actually a different account that I'm logged into, but yours will be exactly the same, right? And then you can connect with people the same way. You got your scripts right there. Okay. Now what you do is copy the script. So what I would do is just toggle. Oh, I haven't opened Facebook yet. Hold on. Let me open Facebook.
Yeah. So those of you who like use, like iPhone, like you just double click your home screen and all the apps that you have open pop up. So you would just double click, go to Facebook, double click, go back to Safari or Chrome or whatever it is that you use, right?
Yeah, so you can go, you know, you can paste into Facebook. Like if I want to look somebody up, let me look up Jay because he's my guinea pig, right? Mm-hmm. So if I wanted to message Jay, I would toggle back over to Teamzy, copy my script, toggle back to Messenger.
And then paste it.
And then just paste it in there. Of course, my thumb is not working today. But you get the
idea. So I mean, either way, like you're going back and forth on your computer or on your phone. So it is mobile friendly though, which is good because I know some of my girls have made it to this level and not even have a computer. They do it all from their phone, which is pretty impressive.
There's this new app that I learned about today from our Teamzy community. I'm laughing because my son puts stuff on the iPad and they show up on my phone, like these little games. But it's called Split. See it in the bottom right-hand corner? It splits two screens on iPhone. If you guys have an Android phone, which I think is like 6% of our users, but Androids automatically do a split screen. But check this out. You can put in, I already have Facebook and Teamzy loaded in the Split, so you don't have to toggle.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. So that's a third-party app, which has totally inspired me because we'll probably build an app next year, and I'll make sure that it has split screen capability. But
and so
things like that make it easier, you know.
And so your mobile version and your PC version sync together, like your information goes to both.
Yeah, because it's a cloud-based site, so you're just logging into the website, and it's real time.
And then as far as uploads go, just to touch on that, you can upload your contacts from Facebook. You can import your back office, but you have to copy your back office and paste it. And that's something that there's a video to walk you through, but also the one-on-one customer service can kind of help you with that. And you can actually, I hope this is okay to share, but you can call Teamzy, give them your login information, and they'll kind of just do it for you the first time. And then you just continue to add into that. And then does it have to be CSV files, or can it be like Excel spreadsheets where you?
It has to be a CSV, but you can just save as CSV.
Okay.
So, let me show you guys this. This is actually launching this week. It's a brand new help center. Nobody's even seen this yet. We have a help center now, and it has all the same information, just not as cool and easy to use. This is the new help center that's going to launch this week. But for example, when you want to do import from my back office, you open this up, and then it's going to be a generic one, but if I toggle all networks, I can find the Younique version. Okay, and it's going to take you through specifically. I'll show you how to do it.
Very cool.
Which is cool. But you can also, for those of you guys who don't want to watch the video, there's FAQs that list it. So like step by step.
I just love that it's Younique specific, which is like amazing.
We love Younique. And you know what? Younique has grown faster than any network. So just to give you guys some history, we launched December 23rd will be our 2-year anniversary. We launched Beachbody and we took off in Beachbody. And then about a year later, we started getting a lot of people from Rodana Fields saying, please, please, please. So we launched Rodana Fields. Rodana Fields grew twice as fast as Beachbody. And then we were like, we could actually do this for other networks because it seems they're so different businesses, it worked the same. So we started getting requests from Younique. So we created Younique, and Younique went berserk. Like the very first month, we didn't even have a Facebook ad out yet. And we had like 800 presenters jump on Teamzy, which was great.
We just don't have anything that helps us like this. Like I was telling you, we just came up with Customer Connect, and even that's limited, you know? So Kayla asked, when you mentioned when you message someone, you don't get a response. So the next time you message, you change it up a bit. After how many no responses do you stop? Or do you just continue to put them in that 30-day rotation? Or do you just put them as a 1-star?
Very few people are on the 30-day rotation. You guys will find after you've connected with somebody like 2 or 3 months in a row, it's really often. But I will tell you guys a story. There was this guy, Mike, who was a real estate investor I knew in Alabama. So I'm in California. So like you guys, I had talked to people all over the country, right, through online. And I had messaged him like, hey man, how you doing? Nothing. 3 months later, because he was on my 3-month rotation, I messaged him again, nothing. 4 times, so that's a year. 4 times. The very 4th time, he messaged me back and he said, hey Eric, thanks for reaching out. I've been watching you and I want to, this is when I was a Beachbody coach. He goes, I want to do Body Beast. I want to come in as a coach, and I just need to know, should I get this package, or this package? And I was like, he goes, can you jump on a call today? It's like, yeah. And it cracked me up because he didn't respond, but he was watching. Like it got him to look at my page. It got him to interact. And in his mind, we were having a conversation, even though it was kind of a one-way conversation. So my question to you guys is this. Can you delete people if they don't respond? Sure. It's, you know, no big deal. But if it takes like 3 seconds to just send them a message every 3 months, my point is like, keep it going. Especially if it's somebody you know. The other thing that will happen is, I'll tell you another story. I had a guy say to me, Eric, hey Eric, thanks for the message. I'm actually going to unfriend you because when you were talking about real estate, it was highly relevant to me. But what you're doing now is not relevant to my life, so I'm going to unfriend you. And I was like, what a jerk, right? I mean, I don't know how much you guys respond to that. And I wanted to be like, you're a jerk. But then I kind of just remembered my training and I said, hey, no, I totally understand. Before you go though, is there anybody that you know who maybe needs some help with their health or their fitness? And you know, he gave me 3 names. And I was like, unfriend me all you want. That was great. And then I was able to reach out and say, hey, your friend so-and-so asked me to contact you, you know, and this is what I'm doing. Maybe I can help. So my thing is like, I contact everybody. It takes a second and I don't care. The thing is too, is where I'm coming from. I'm not worried about being rejected because I'm just being nice to people.
I always say until they like block me, they're fair game. You know, like a no is a no right now. It's not a no forever, right?
In the words of Kelly, I've never met a hater doing better than me.
Never made a hater doing better than me, right?
I love that.
I have so many that I can't take credit for that. I heard that at the Most Powerful Women event, the GoPro event, and this girl was like on fire. She was like my spirit animal, and she's like, have you ever met a hater doing better than you? I don't think so. And I was like, yeah, preach, girl. But yeah, I mean, everybody's fair game and follow up forever, because I go back to when my sponsor recruited me, it took her 4 months to get me to buy the kit. And then, like I always say to you guys, You never know when a Kelly Rose Sarno is going to end up on your team and bring in 6,000 people to your business, you know? So one more thing, because I know one of my girls, Kim, has tried this. She's a teacher, so her time is strictly limited. She's a mom to 2 boys, teenage boys, so crazy sports schedules and stuff. And she said the difficult part for me was having the time to go between Facebook and Teamzy and adding new contacts. I found it time cumbersome because I do this on the run from my phone because I work full time. For those of you at home, this is gold. So I think, and I actually have heard that feedback a little bit, is that this is much obviously easier to use from your computer. And I just wanted to touch on that. And then I guess, Eric, I'd love to hear your feedback too. If you dedicated your power hour once a day to your PC, laptop, or at home work time, right? Because we all do work from a computer at some point, a tablet, something bigger than our phones, at least once a day. Dedicate your power hour to Teamzy. And if you did that every single day, that's worth $30 a month to me, because you're going to get minimum 50% response. You know, so I can dedicate 1 hour to a computer and the rest of my 15-minute increments of, you know, uninterrupted time on my phone, right?
So that's a great point. I mean, for me, I always did mine very early in the morning, and then like after 9 p.m. when everybody was quiet down. And I didn't expect people to respond to me till the next day or till later, which was fine. I just put them out there, you know? Some people, though, will start trying to have a conversation at 10 o'clock at night, in which case I'm not responding till the next day. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point, is it's about a power hour. Now, you can do it on your phone, and it's pretty seamless. I don't know if she was using the mobile app on that comment or not, but, you know, it takes a second. I mean, even if it takes you to do 20 connects, you know, if you could do it in 30 minutes on your computer and it takes you 40 minutes to do it on your phone, you're still connecting with 20 people.
And it's just creating a new habit, that's all. And Kim, she just said, but how can you track what you did during the day? This is where, you know, you guys talk about balance and time management and things like that. And what do I always say? There's no such thing as a mascara emergency. Don't look at your messenger until you have the dedicated time to respond. You know, like if you get a message, and you guys get responses from me hours later too. Like, to me, as long as it's within like 12 hours or 24 hours, I like to see my inbox at 0 at the end of the day. I try my best to do that. But, you know, if you're in class, don't try to sneak in those messages. You're going to be far more effective if you are sitting down uninterrupted. There's this really cool task to do to learn the difference between multitasking and how ineffective multitasking actually can be, is write out A to Z, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Write it out, time yourself, right? Then write the numbers 1 through 26 and time yourself, okay? Then try to write A1, B2, C3, D4. Try to write that out and time yourself, and it takes twice as long as it did to do one at a time. You know, so that's just how our brains work. So instead, shut your messenger off when you don't have the time to dedicate to your follow-up, because the fortune's in the follow-up, and that's what creates your relationships and your trust. Would you agree, Eric?
Absolutely. You need to be focused. The other thing is, you know, if you're doing stuff during the day, you can definitely open it up on your phone and log it, right? Mm-hmm. If you are doing stuff during the day. One thing I want to say, though, before people start passing out and taking off is, you know, we can set up team calls like this for your teams. Mm-hmm. Right? So you guys are the leaders. I just want you guys to know we would love to do that for your teams. Get your teams on a call like this, get them fired up and excited. I didn't even show you guys the team report, but basically your downline can share their stats with you, and you can look at one screen and see whether or not people are doing income producing activities in Teamzy today or not. And you can share that screen on team calls and, you know, celebrate people who are killing it and encourage people who aren't. So it's really powerful.
Yeah, so you all can, like I did this for you guys, just my bluesing up. You can then connect with Eric, or he has other team members, obviously, and they'll give this same presentation to your team, you know? So we're starting here, see how we like it, try it for your 30 days, then introduce it to your team. Imagine if all the moguls were doing this. I mean, we'd explode.
You guys would explode.
Yeah, it couldn't be more perfect timing because it's November. you know?
So here's the average results, because we just did an analysis of our users. Our active users, these are people who are doing power hours, just like I showed you, right? They are averaging 21 new customers and 9 new recruits every 90 days. That's the average. That's good, solid. And here's the thing, like, I know some people are blowing it up way beyond that, but that's solid. If you could get that across your team. And that's why we do the 30-day free trial. So you guys could bring your whole team on together for 30 days, do a push together, hold each other accountable. By the way, I want to give you guys quick action steps. And this is what you're going to have your team do too. It's this one. Get your 30-day free trial started. That's the no-brainer. It's free, okay? And then the next thing I want you to do is get a 30-day success partner to do the trial with you. How many of you guys already have a success partner? If you have a success partner, do it together. If you don't, pick somebody to be your success partner for 30 days. I want you guys to, when you finish your dashboard, like you hit all your numbers for the day, you're going to screenshot it and send it to your success partner every day. Okay? Because what'll happen is you won't get to it one day. It'll be crazy. And you'll get that screenshot. This used to happen to me at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And you'll be like, oh, I got to go do it now. Right? And it's going to be great. You'll get so much more out of it. And then the other thing I'm going to give you guys is a 5-day challenge. I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge, which is during your trial. I want you to do it 5 days in a row. Because I know you're not going to do it every day probably. But I want you to just try it for 5 days in a row so you can see the incredible momentum it creates. And so it's 100 people in 5 days. That's just like the example I showed you guys today, 20 a day. And it can be all three, prospects, customers, and presenters. Okay? So who's in for the 5-day challenge? Everyone see your hands so that they know. Okay? Public accountability. If you guys do these things, it will be a no-brainer. And when you guys talk to your team and they're like, oh my gosh, it's not free, I have to pay for something. If they get in the 30-day trial and use it and you hold them accountable, they do a 5-day challenge, there'll be no question. It'll be awesome. They'll be way, beyond worrying about that. Make sense?
Yeah, you have to invest in your team. It's investing in your business. You have to invest in your business, Think of it as buying a new kit, basically, That $30 is going to be made up probably the first day, Sell one collection and boom, you just made your $30, right?
Yeah. It's like every single network has a $30 commission on a basic kit.
Yeah, because
that's why we priced it.
We actually don't make any money off of our kits, which is crazy. We only make money if we teach people how to run the business. But if you're getting 21 customers in 90 days, we have consumable products. So those are 21 lifetime customers. That's not a 21 first-time customers, because then they go into your follow-up list and you're following up with them every 30 days. And until Younique gives us something that says, hey, you should be following up with this girl for mascara every 30 days, we need something, And I'm sick of 18 notebooks on my freaking desk.
You have 18 because you need a new one every time you can't find the last one, right?
This is a shit show over here, literally. So, all right. I know it's getting late. Eric, thank you so much for all of your time.
My pleasure. I'm happy to be here. Again, guys, just message me. Find me on Facebook. Let me know if you want to do a team call. We'll get it set up. Or you can send a help desk ticket through Teamzy, a little help button saying I want to do a team call. We'll be happy.
Perfect. I'm starting my trial tomorrow. I'm going to get on Jay's schedule because I have too much to import in my back office. And then you'll send me the replay link so they can share. It's a long call, so not everyone's going to watch this replay. So you might want to just start scheduling your own for your calls. But I'll definitely post it in the Blue group and in the Elite page.
They might get into it if they watch it 5 or 10 minutes. I'll give you the link later on tonight once it uploads.
Okay. Perfection. Appreciate everything. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to reach more of my team. I'm so excited.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a great night.
Okay. Thanks, Eric. Bye.